Fuck it.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Hey, mama. If you are a mom and are tired of the wash, rinse, repeat burnout cycle of motherhood, this podcast is for you. If you feel lonely and isolated in your motherhood journey, this podcast is for you. If you feel like you have completely lost your identity since your babies were born, this podcast is for you. If you feel like every other mom has it together except for you, this podcast is for you. My name is Amanda, and I'm a life coach dedicated to teaching every mom the tools she needs to liberate herself off the back burner. I am living proof that a woman can be present and loving to her kids while also being a whole-ass person outside of being that kid's mom. The secret? Learning when to say fuck it. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fuck It Mothering. I am your host, Amanda Haro, and I am a burnout and life coach for moms, specifically only exclusively moms. I'm so happy to have you here. If this is your first time, welcome into the Fuck It Mothering tribe. If you've been here for a while, thank you so much for being here, a part of this community, a part of this tribe, for tuning in every week. Your support means everything to me, and I'm so glad that these episodes are helpful for you. I always knew that I wanted to do a podcast when I started my business because I found life coaching and thought work tools from a podcast. So this podcast is very, very near and dear to my heart. And it's my intention that it always serves you at the highest level, that it gives you inspiration and encouragement and tools that you haven't had before, but also that it's just relatable, that it feels like a breath of fresh air to you, that you feel that you finally found someone who gets you, that you feel like a place where you feel like you belong, because motherhood can be really isolating, and it's just kind of hard sometimes to be fully in your own uniqueness because it takes a while to find the people who resonate with you. So all of that just to say, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with me. I have some super exciting news. I'm just going to start with that because I just can't hold it inside. So the two coaches that I partner with for the Fuck It Friday series, by the way, your second one is coming out tomorrow. And Samantha joined us, so you get to meet Samantha. But Samantha and Amanda, because I attract Amandas to me. So we have decided to collaborate on another project called Mom Summer Camp. So it's most of summer, actually. June 10th through August 9th, we are we're hosting a virtual summer camp for you guys, the moms who are, you've got all your kids home now because school is out, and it's like, yay, school is out, because school is like its own level of stress, but then it shifts into a different stress of like, oh my God, my kids are home all day long, or like, oh my God, I have to pay out the ass for daycare or some sort of summer camp activity for them to do while I work outside of the home and have this job that I want or that I need. And so we wanted to create a space, a virtual space, that's kind of like a blanket fort, where we can all hide from our kids together, where we can meet other moms that resonate with us, that we like vibe the same way, because mostly we're not afraid of the word fuck, and we're not afraid of talking about how, like, yes, my kids are the best thing that ever happened to me, but fucking damn it, I don't want to be a mom today. It's a space for that type of realness. And we're going to have weekly challenges every week, obviously, duh, Amanda, weekly challenges. We're going to have, at the end of every week on Thursdays, we'll have a group coaching call where you can get coached, or we can just talk about the things that we're going to say fuck it to in motherhood that week. I'm so excited for this community space. It's going to be the best place to hang out all summer long. It's going to be your favorite place too. So I will put the link to sign up for that, to register for it. Again, it's free. But I'll put that in the description box of this episode. So you can come join us. You can be involved in it as little or as much as you want to be, right? So we're going to have these weekly challenges. It's a Facebook group, so you can be in there posting every day or once a week, or just checking in with people every once in a while. You could just come to the group coaching calls, whatever you want to do, like whatever you need and whatever feels right to you. But there's going to be like more levels for you to be integrated into the group should you want that. I'm very excited about this. It's going to be great. I'm super happy to be collaborating with Amanda and Samantha more because I just adore them and we all like jive so well together. Oh, it's going to be so good. The Fuck It Friday episode that is being released tomorrow is so good. Oh my gosh. We had so much fun recording that one, you guys. Samantha just brings like a whole other level of fucking goodness. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. So don't forget to come back here tomorrow and listen to that episode. It's fantastic. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about learning how to speak up for yourself and learning how to like use your voice without it feeling hard and without you having to like deal with a lot of anxiety inside of your body. Because I actually am someone who this has been a lifelong lesson for me. It's people who only know like this version of me right now, the one talking to you, have a hard time like accepting the fact that I actually was a very quiet child growing up. I was very shy. I was the kid in the class who usually had the answer to the teacher's question. But I very rarely raised my hand because I hated speaking in front of my class at all. Speaking up, just using my voice at all was very difficult for me. And being in social situations was difficult for me. And I ended up learning how to navigate social situations with new people by copying their behavior, but not like in a creepy, weird way. Like I've always been a people watcher and I've always been a very keen observer. And so I would like tune into their personality and start giving them like what I thought that they wanted. And that's just how I learned to sort of adapt. So I wasn't just a social outcast. I wasn't some weirdo. I mean, I was weird, but yeah. So it took me a really long time to discover who the fuck I am. That took a very long time because again, I still actually sometimes catch myself in that old habit of usually if I'm like feeling physically tired, and I have to interact with new people for whatever reason, or people that I just don't know very well, I will catch myself going back to that old pattern of this is how we've learned how to survive in social situations so that we're not fucking weird and kicked out of the tribe. And then I'm able to usually kind of like bring myself back to just myself. But yeah, I'll still catch myself sometimes like giving them what I think that they want, matching their energy instead of just living in my own energy. Always thinking of the wittiest comment instead of just willing to be awkward, basically, is what it amounts to. Willing to just be quiet. Sometimes if I am feeling physically tired, like it's okay to just be low energy. Well, how about we just let that be okay? Because when I force it, then I just get more tired, obviously. But yeah, like I caught myself in a moment of appreciation of my growth a few days ago, and I was thinking about it and I wanted to make a post about it. But then as I thought about it more and like my whole journey of getting there, I was like, no, this is a podcast episode because it's actually really deep and involved. It's more than just a 60-second reel. my second born, Aria, she had her 5th grade promotion at school on Wednesday. And they had this like photo op thing, it said class of 2024 and you could take your picture in front of it. And of course, everybody flooded to it right away. And there was a huge queue, building up really quickly. We were one of the first ones to get there, and there wasn't like a proper queue set up. So I was just like keeping an eye on like, okay, this, C section of people, like the letter C around it, were here before me. I'm keeping an eye on anybody who comes from any direction, because I am not going to stand here for 40 minutes while I let everybody else go just because I'm too scared to say, hey, we were actually here before you, even though you weren't aware that we were here before you. We were here before you. Something like that would have been really hard for me to do before. I definitely would have been like the person who just kind of let people like trickle in front of me and tried to like get myself physically positioned to where like people noticed that I was there so that they would give me the permission to be like, oh yes, it is your turn. Instead of just asserting and staying in my power of like, no, it's my turn. So you're going to have to wait because we were here before you, which is ultimately what I did. There was a dad and his kid who came from the side, and he was positioning himself to push his kid to go after the people who were currently taking their picture. And it was our turn at that point. And I saw him, and I didn't have any anger towards this man. I didn't have any like pissiness or anything, because I was just like, he doesn't even see that I'm here. There's too many people. He has no idea. He's just trying to get in and out and get his picture. Like, I get it. He's not being an asshole, because that was the other thing that was like a part of my journey. But anyways, I'm just going to focus on the story and then take you guys through my journey. And so when the people who were taking their picture were moving, I immediately got in front, and I told him, I was like, we were actually here first. It's our turn now. And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. And that was it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We took our picture, moved out of the way. He went next, and everybody else figured out their own fucking lives. I don't know what they did because I was gone. But in my journey of becoming like the kid in class who will not raise her hand at all because she's just too fucking scared to use her voice in front of other people, and who is too scared to be her real self in front of new people that she's meeting in social situations. She always feels like she has to parrot other behaviors. To really thinking back, I was doing so much research on other people in order to like transform myself into that version so that I could be accepted and liked and not be weird. To being the person who can, with absolutely no drama, just assert like, hey, we were here. We're going to go first, and you can go after us. A lifetime. I'm 36 years old. It's taken me my whole life to get to this point. But it doesn't have to take you your whole life. That's why I'm here. That's why coaches are here. We go through things in our own lives and we figure out how to do it and then explain it to you in a way that is digestible so that you don't have to wait your whole life to get to this point. But there was a stage for me where I was like depending on my frustration and anger to give me the like adrenaline boost to speak up for myself. And now this was a necessary step for me, doing it sort of like organically on my own. Not really, it wasn't really like intentionally like, I'm going to work on speaking up for myself. I just kind of got to a point where I was tired. I was tired of being the one to adapt. I was tired of being the one being walked all over. That was my perspective. That's not, it's more complex than that. I was just tired and fed up. So basically I got to my breaking point and then sort of had to like explode in order to make way for something new. But if I had been in my angry stage and been in this situation at the photo booth at the 5th grade graduation, I would have felt like anger towards this man. And I would have made it his problem. I would have had this whole story about how he was probably just this like man who went around walking all over people just because he was a man and he could. And I'm so fed up with this. And when really he's just a person who's, I don't know, maybe he's that person. I don't think he is, though, based on like his reaction to me telling him like, we were actually next, we're going now, because he was totally chill. I've interacted with other people who don't take that very well. So just the fact that he was like, oh yeah, sorry, didn't realize. I think that was genuine. I don't think he actually realized that he wasn't intentionally trying to budge. He wasn't intentionally being like, fuck this line. I'm not waiting in it because my life is more important than your life. And all of that anger was really just me deflecting my own shit and me deflecting, taking responsibility for what I was creating for myself, because that's the truth. When we are not speaking up for ourselves, other people aren't doing that to us. We are doing that to ourselves. So getting angry at them is really just us reflecting how frustrated we are with our current situation and our inability or our choice not to take responsibility for how we actually caused it and got ourselves there. The truth is that I did not have a difficult time speaking up for myself, using my voice in general, being myself around other people because of other people. Other people didn't actually do that to me. I was doing it to myself because I was insecure with who I was. I didn't think that I was enough on my own. I didn't think that I had anything, that I could trust my words, that I had anything of value to say, or that, you know, even when I did believe in the value of what I had to say, that it was right, that it was coming from me. It was all my own shit. And if you are someone who has a hard time speaking up for yourself, it's not other people who have done that to you. Now, I know that there are situations where if you were in an abusive relationship and that person beat you down, that's an extenuating circumstance. That's different. That is something that like someone else did to you. But still, the work that you need to do to break yourself out of that is all inner work. It's all in realigning with yourself, trusting yourself, knowing your own worth and value. And that's such a big one for women. We have to do that work on ourselves in order to show up and speak up for ourselves, stand up for ourselves, and say what's actually on our minds in a way that doesn't cause any inner drama within us. So if that's you and you do have a hard time speaking up for yourself, I want you to start. It's going to take, first of all, it's going to take time. Okay. It doesn't have to take your whole life, but it is going to take time. Be patient with yourself, be gracious with yourself, have so much compassion and grace for yourself always, my loves. But I want you to start asking yourself, why don't I trust myself? And to see where that takes you. Why don't I trust myself? What am I afraid of? What are you afraid is going to happen if you say, hey, I was here first, it's my turn, and go from there. See what comes up. That's going to be the first step that reveals the path that you individually have to take, because it's a little bit different for all of us, depending on what we've gone through, the stories we've told ourselves, and the beliefs that we're still holding on to. I don't know what it is specifically for you, but you do. You just need to learn to trust yourself, which is actually a lot easier than it sounds. It's actually a lot easier than you've probably let yourself believe. It's just about going in with the promise of loving yourself and having your own back no matter what. And every time you slip up and you forget that you made that commitment to yourself and you start beating up on yourself again, you catch it and you recommit. And you recommit and you recommit and you recommit and you keep going. If anger comes up, be really, really curious about it. If you're in a real situation and you're speaking up for yourself and you feel really flustered, you feel angry, get so curious about it with all the love, no judgment. Okay? You need to learn how to be curious without the judgment. And again, see what comes up. Usually behind anger, there's a hurt or there's fear. Just so you know, it's kind of what you're looking for. But just know that it is possible. It is possible for you to be a woman who speaks up for herself. For you to be a woman who knows exactly who she is and shows up exactly as she is every single day without apology. That's available to you. No matter what stories you've been telling yourself, because it's all stories. Maybe you're just like, well, I don't care what Amanda's saying. She's probably always been a little bit more confident than most. No, I have not. You didn't know me back then. And that is a story that you were telling yourself. It's an excuse to hide behind. Why hide behind it? You are beautiful and glorious. No more hiding. And if you need help with this stuff, this inner work, if stuff comes up for you and you have no idea what to do with it, that's when you slide into my DMs. That's when you use that scheduling link to schedule your consultation. Send me an email, however you want to get in touch with me. I'm here for you. Literally why I created this podcast, why I created my business, why I create every space that I've ever created and will create is for you. And to support you in your growth, in your journey to your next highest self, and then your next highest self from that. But you can do it. I have faith in you. Even if you don't have faith in you, know that I have faith in you. And I will hold that faith for you until you can hold it for yourself. I love you guys so much. I cannot wait to see you guys in the Mom Summer Camp. And don't forget about Fuck It Friday tomorrow. It's a good one. Are you living your one wild life to the fullest? You're not? Why the fuck not? What are you waiting for? The time to live is now, mama. Do not wait until your youngest is in college. Let your dreams hire me for an hour so I can explain how I can help you achieve any goal in your life. You've put yourself off long enough. It's time to pour into you. The link to schedule your 60-minute complimentary consultation is in my show notes. Join the community of Fuck It Moms by following me on Instagram and Facebook at Fuck It Mothering. That's fuck without the U. So FCK It Mothering. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss your weekly encouragement. And please rate, review, comment, and share. All of these things help with the algorithms, so that way when other overwhelmed moms are looking for encouragement, they can find me. Every month, I give away one of my favorite books and a Starbucks card to a lucky winner. All you have to do to enter is write a review or tag me in social media when you share an episode. See you next Sunday, gorgeous.